We are live. Welcome, YouTube hype smokers. Hey, sweetheart. We could always turn the fan higher.
I can't reach here.
Fine.
You.
Yeah, I know. Hope you're doing well, everybody. Everybody includes you.
Are you serious? You want that?
It's warm in this corner.
You need to get a string and
Just a second. Be right back. Recovering know-it-all. How you doing, buddy? Great to see you. Smoking my Rossi pot pipe with some early morning pipe in it. How are you doing this evening? We had the neighbor kids just leave. So their folks got to do date night, and we have a sliding door by the side, so sometimes they pick them up there, and it was weird. It threw Mabu off because she all we heard, she's saying, "My mom's here. He's gonna leave," and I'm like, and all we thought was he just yelled "mom," and I'm like, what? But it is now okay for me to use this because the company has gone and it is time to relax. Oh, I bet. Hillbilly Piper, how you doing, brother? Hunter, how you doing? Good to hear recovering. Glad you're doing well. Let's start some early morning pipe. With my lighter from Mark in Rhode Island. On your way home, very nice. I like Rossi's. Simple yet effective. What a day. I hung out with my dad and it was a lazy day. But I still did dishes and a little bit of housekeeping. Probably tomorrow do a good couple hours of just tidying up for the week kind of thing and do a little bit more work on I'm losing names now. On my first volcano or my second volcano pipe, gonna do some work on that tomorrow, as well as my first bulldog. Sounds good, hillbilly. You'll be ready by then. I appreciate you letting me know. Because what I've been doing is I'll go back and forth between pipes and on any deals we made or commissions that I go through and I prioritize those. And so that helps. That helps. I should be done with, I can't think of his name. He's so nice too, and I can't think of his name. That's going to be one of those days. The second volcano pipe that's going to have different colored stains and it's got the lava flow going on. I should have that done this come the end of this week. So hopefully it will be mailed out by the end of the week. It's looking good. I just got to sand it and make sure I don't mess it up. That's really the only thing. Like the first hard part is done, where it's the drilling and all that, but I do have the stem work left, and the staining will take a few days. The stem work will take at least a couple days. So, but I'm hoping maybe I can mail it out by Monday would be a pretty decent estimate. So that gives me plenty of time to finish yours up. And yours is mostly ready. I got to drill. I think I still have the shank left to drill, and a little bit more sanding. I did get to where I was getting it really sanded nice on the shank and up at the thumb point. But I've just been debating on, because I know you said it's going to be a holder, not a sitter. So I've just been trying to decide how far to take that. And I think I got an idea now, where there won't be a lot of flat surface on the bottom, but I'm still kind of trying to do that tribute to the OMS pipe, but they got a little bit. So I'll tone that down a little. Just have to lift up. This is going to sound weird. Got to bring up the bottom and just sand some more, and that's about it. Yours is almost done, man. And if you want it natural, I'll sand it really high grit. So just let me know. And just have a little bit. I figured out some cool tricks on stems on the way I do the bits now. So I will change yours a little bit. Yeah, that's got to be the way it's said. I knew mine wasn't right. Thank you, Dan. You always got my back. I don't normally use these. When they're gifts, I try to keep them nice, or especially from a piper, I try to utilize them and keep them nice. But I really do love pipe lighters. I just don't take it everywhere because I want to keep it nice. I don't want to drop it, Yeah, that's the perfect way. Tighten the tush. Yeah, I knew you were going to give me a look right then. I was talking about how I'm going to do the bottom of Hillbilly Piper's pipe, and it has a flat spot, and I was debating on how much of a flat spot it would have. So I'm going to go like this, sand in the bottom edges, and I was like, I don't know how to say it, lift the bottom up, or raise up the bottom. And he goes, Dan, DDT goes, tighten the tush. So what are you fellas all smoking? This is early morning pipe. It's fantastic. And I will have a little bit of a surprise coming up in around 30 minutes. Oh, Zippo, we just had a talk about poison ivy.
Uh-oh.
How are you feeling? Is it a really, really bad? Well, he said covered, so it's probably pretty bad. He said, hey, all lurking, covered in poison ivy rash. Man, I'm sorry, buddy. So that aside, how was your day? Oh, head to toe.
Oh, what did he do?
Were you wiping with it? Like wipe and sweat, head to toe? Then you shower and you clean down your legs. See, get your mind out of the gutter. What'd you say?
Sounds like he went rolling in it.
I know. Oh, he slept all day. Man, that bites. My brother used to get that really bad. Nice. Dan Lopez. How you doing, brother? Good to see you. Good to see all of you here. This feels nice. Didn't overdo it today. Trying to catch up on rest so then the next few days I can really gun on some pipes. I've already got 2 church wardens I'm ready to work on. I got the blocks picked. Oh, well, that bites. Yeah, work never contributes to anything good, does it? He said he thinks he got it on his hoodie at work and then it spread by showering. Because soap will just make it run to get off, but it will can still absorb into the skin.
Guess I'll be taking an oatmeal soak.
Man. That sounds good, Dan Lopez. I'm smoking early morning pipe. Calamine lotion, brown bottle, pink stuff, really helps the itch.
He needs to soak with oatmeal.
The only
I'm trying to remember what it is.
The only thing I had that I could say is similar to the poison ivy thing, because I didn't have that break out as badly as my brother did, which I would imagine is about what yours broke out as, because his was terrible. Oh, he's already covered in calamine. Well, that's good. You're off to a right start. Dang. So I used to take allergy shots years ago. I did it for 7 years. And I'd go in 2-3 times a week after school and get shots. And they did allergy testing. I only had to have it twice. But the first time I remembered was 61 shots in my back and then 10 in each shoulder. The other one was more, so I didn't remember that one. And they take these they look like those little yellow or those little like green, like glow in the dark Lego round pieces stacked on one another with like ant pincers. And they dip it in the stuff you're allergic to, then twist it on your back. And it was. And the nurse is like, some people say that it tickles. Some even laugh. And I'm like, some people are also insane. Zippo is smoking. Cobblestone hiking. That sounds nice. Whatever it is. I've not had that. Is that a custom blend? Smarty Bob. How are you doing, brother? You bet on the wrong horse again in the Kentucky Derby. Me too. It was an unofficial bet, and I still didn't win. Tell you. Rough luck these days. Anyway, I did all that allergy testing, and some of my worse allergies improved, and some of my not so bad allergies got a little bit worse. Not only a few of them. But overall, over time, it's gotten better. And so I was going to decide, I said, can I stop the shots for like a year and then pick back up? And she said, you'll have to start the series all over again. And I was like, well, I'm done getting shots all the time. I'm like, I feel pretty decent. I'm just done with shots. And first, before they did the last allergy test, they stopped the shots. They wanted me to stop allergy medication for a week. And allergy medication keeps me breathing, helps me sleep. I mean, really helps me monitor my asthma well. And that was a miserable week. Felt like a little kid running around in just your tidy whities with covered in calamine, only you weren't running around because you're miserable. So it was, ugh.
Does your friend have any Xanthil? Because that's what's up with like poison ivy.
Oh, Xanthil is supposed to help. That sounds like landfill. Xanthil is supposed to help with poison ivy, Mabu says. Todd, how are you doing, brother?
Or poison ivy soap.
Poison ivy soap? Why on earth would they make soap out of poison
I
ivy?
want to say Burt's Bees used to make some kind of like bar soap to help with it, but I don't know if you can get that anymore.
I don't know. Oh, Hillbilly Piper says, "Hey Zippo, time to listen to an old man. Wash off all the calamine lotion and put deodorant on all the places. Arm and Hammer or Old Spice." I've never heard of that, but I would try it at that point. I used 2 bottles of calamine lotion, and that week still was terrible. But that was different. That was allergies. My brother had poison ivy. We hid our bikes. You know, people like to steal bikes, and we were wise to it. So we hid our bikes. After biking at the zoo, we hid them in some bushes and went a couple hundred yards away to play on playground equipment in the middle of the zoo. Then we went and got our bikes back, and he had led us to park them in poison ivy, and that was that. And man, it messed him up. But he was carrying, he said, "Did you get any on you?" And I'm like, "I don't even know what I'm looking for." So I was lucky. Oh, they have shots for that? Zippo's going
I have to get like
to the clinic Monday. Maybe steroid shots or something. Tuesday. I don't know how bad you have it, but it's okay. You just do. You keep your pictures to you.
If he has it from head to toe, then I would.
If it's head to toe, it sounds terrible, and I'm very sorry, man.
Go to the doctor. Do they have like a quick care or urgent care open on Sundays?
Welcome, Dark Lord. Great to see you, brother. I don't know. DDT says Benadryl nap time.
True.
That's true.
Does he have like an oatmeal lotion to help?
Oatmeal lotion? Or in all desperation, just make a bunch of oatmeal and just rub it all over. Yeah, I would do it.
Make like a paste.
Oh, he's had it for 2 days. Zippo.
Sheesh. Why didn't you go to the doctor today?
Well, that stuff can last all week anyway. What you do is you ask your wife for a hug. After you've already given her a hug and everybody wakes up. I'm just kidding. Aw. His wife, I believe, brought him some oatmeal bath.
Yeah, that might help.
And DDT said bathtub full of runny porridge. I'd do it. I don't care.
I would try it out.
And then I'd be scooping out the oatmeal because I'm putting that down that drain.
Right.
Gosh, ration oatmeal baths 1 week, a plumbing bill the next week. What a crappy way to do things. Man, it's been a long time. The last time I remember any bad baths, my dog had been sprayed by a skunk, and we tried the tomato thing, which is total. I mean, if you're within 20 feet of something, it hurts your nose anyway, and maybe that helps, but it didn't seem like it helped. The dog still reeked for 2 or 3 weeks, so. I'm like, well, you're an outside dog. And she was anyway. Poison sumac is the worst. Pain lasts over 2 weeks. Geesh. If I want pain that lasts over 2 weeks, I'll say something not nice to Mabu, which I would not do. And then I would experience pain for a long time. Have a good one, Hillbilly. Great to see you, brother. I look forward to you being back, but keep having fun while you're there. And poison oak is related. That's in the cashew family.
Cashew?
Mm-hmm. For realsies. Yeah, I just said that and I never have. I'm evolving or something. I don't know what it is. That sounds bad. Man, early morning pipe is so good, and I forgot how long this stinking pipe smokes for. But it was pretty dry, and so it all fell into every little spot. So it's pretty good. Easy bowl fill, easy couple of lights. So Hunter, are you working on any pipes currently, sir? I didn't do much today. Did a little bit of sanding, and it was just one of those days. It just needed some time to relax and then go insane on like 3 or 4 pipes all at once. And then chill out for a couple days and then do it again. I got a creaky chair. And let's see, in about 8 minutes, we're going to have a little surprise. It doesn't involve you, you're fine. You have this look like, don't make me get on there, I'm all comfy. It's okay. Oh, don't. How do you roll your eyes that way? She's evolving too. She can roll her eyes. I can tell when she rolls her eyes from like both of us looking the other way. It's crazy. That was a very dramatic one. That's going to make me dizzy. I'm like, huh? Making a ring for my dad after have another ring ordered. Awesome, man. Oh, I think I remember you'd mentioning the one about your dad within the last few days. Well, I tried Russian olive and that darn stuff. We had pieces like a whole tree worth that should be just right. And I've never tried Russian olive for making pipes other than one time recently. And I was like, okay, we'll get a good piece. That piece had the core with it. I was just messing around, but I was like, we'll try around the core where you would typically cut like Briar'd, and we'll try that with that. See, I'll get about 3 or 4 pipes worth and just see what we can do. And man, that stuff finished drying because it had rained. Dried for a week and a half, and that was it. Dried for a week and a half and just had cracks all over it. So Russian olive will not work, which is a shame because I have a bunch of that and I would love to make that without having it cost me to start with. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. But I won't use Russian olive. Or I may still be stubborn and cut the piece off and try to make one and just see, but I highly doubt it's going to work. So it'll just be out of curiosity. But it's Bulldog and Church Warden season through June. And the first Bulldog is over halfway done. Looking better and better every day. I couldn't believe the progress I made yesterday, just one day. And I was even working on that and the volcano pipe a little bit back and forth. And it was like, wow, this is taking shape well. Sometimes when something's bugging you or something isn't working right, you just have to go right after that. And so that's what I did. I thought I'm pretty sure how I'm going to do the shank. Let's just go for it and go all in and see what happens. And it's turning out well. Started on the bowl first and then really started working on the shank to lead up to the right shape that I'm going for when it meets the bowl. And yeah, should be really good. Shouldn't take too long if I leave it natural, but I got the stems in, and Trevor sent me a message. So if you guys are looking for some supplies for stuff, you can see he responded to my Yabo video, and he's awesome. Good guy. Has a lot of good stuff. Nice guy. Church warden stems, all the stuff I needed.
Hey. What are you doing? Hey,
You can let him if you want to.
you told him no.
Yeah, but this ain't a no kind of night, and we can open the window and let the nice cool air in. He's like, I'll just sit down on all this stuff right here with my cat rump, and then I just grab the bottom and pull it and slide it down the wall.
Is that high enough? Watch out, Dave.
He doesn't help himself. You going under or over, cat? Under. He's like, all right, I'm flipped around. Now you just open the window and I'll go. See, our cat is so chunky that he has to sit where the window is shut, like the opposite end, so it's wider, or where the screen is.
Hi.
He's waiting for you to open it more.
I know.
You can open it a bunch.
Because sometimes he likes
Lean on it. Oh.
Yes.
He never does that when it's just me
Doesn't-
hanging out down here with him. Oh, he's like, see, you should have done it. That was rude. He sneezed on her.
No, it was close.
Oh, he missed. Okay. He touches sagging belly and he wags his tail. RD. It's been a little while. How you doing, buddy? Great to have you. Your circle is pink today. And let me know if the sound's okay or if it's too loud or not, guys. I don't know. I can't. Well, I can test it on my phone, but then that's determined by the volume of my phone. Because I get loud when I'm talking. It has been a long time. RD is awesome. Oh, that was a solid one, RD. That was a solid one. Good job.
Do you hear him?
He's loud. Is your pipe treating you okay? I finally found your channel. No matter what I did, I couldn't type in anything and find it. So I subscribed because you're awesome. Wonderful, bud. I hope it treats you well a long time because I love that pipe. The other night in our Google Meet, Phil told me, don't fall in love with the merchandise. And I said, but how do you not? You know, and we came to good terms with it. You know, he said, well, I look at it and I go, man, that's a good looking piece of wood, or man, that pipe turned out good. And he's like, but you gotta let it go after that. So if you're able to, I found out on my phone, I could click RD and go to channel, and then I subscribed. So RD's channel, from what I saw, was just RD. Yeah, it does just say RD. You never checked. I know I had my channel for a year or so before I did anything with it. Oh. There you go, country. Now you can do it. Thank you, Zippo. That's handy. And if you don't want to stay a moderator, just let me know. It's pretty laid back. But you guys are good. Those of you who are moderators are good moderators. You guys chase out the riffraff pretty quick. Not gonna lie. Dude, early morning pipe is so good. This would be great if I could be able to wake up early without it being some dumb issue. I will say today was good because I woke up around 8, which is really good for me. And it's easy to go, oh, that's late, because I used to be up at 3 something or 4 all the time. Sometimes my day would start at midnight and go usually until 10 or 11 at night and start at midnight again. But I still have my reminder set up. So occasionally what I do, I haven't done for a few months, whenever it works out, I'll do an early morning Saturday Google Meet. And so the deal is, it's kind of ongoing. It's every week, but it's if I wake up and I'm doing okay and I feel up to it, I'll send out invites and do it. So if you don't get an invite, I didn't do it that Saturday. And it's just whenever I can, because I can't schedule that. I mean, you know, one day I wake up at 7:30, and by 8:30 or 9, I'm feeling pretty good. One day I'll wake up at 9:40 and do great, or have 10 minutes doing pretty good, or shakiness, and then whichever one might change. So it's fun doing those early morning ones. An early morning pipe, I think, would be really nice, and that nice cool morning air. But it is very good right now. Yeah, they have been getting better about bot control. Well, they learned about the Russian bot system, or one of them. So they're now able to fight it a lot more. They figured it out, or figured one of them out, and so that's good. RD, are you having a pipe now, buddy? If so, what are you smoking? I'm smoking early morning pipe in my Rossi bent pot pipe, making a bulldog. I would have smoked one of my pipes. I left them in my shop. And today was one of those days I did a little bit of work, and I was just, man, I'm worn out from the week. I'm going to go relax. So I hung out with my dad for a while. And then that was about it, really. I've never heard about it. What type is it? Ooh, a Camacho cigar. Very nice. Sounds good, buddy. I'll light another one up too. So I'll give it a few more minutes till I'll do the surprise because I've already missed it by 5 minutes. I'll give 5 more minutes. 5 more minutes. So for now, think of a number between 0 and 100, but keep it to yourself for 5 more minutes. Phil Rivara, how are you doing, sir? Burley blend, that sounds good. Burley always sounds good to me. Every once in a while, something else sounds better, but especially when I'm thinking of blending, the first thing that comes to mind, it's either Kentucky or Burley, and then I decide from there what I'm going to go with. Searchlight Piper, welcome in. Great to have you with us this evening. Feel free to let us know what you're smoking it in. And poor Zippo, man, you're toughing it out, Zippo. You're toughing it out. Although I do imagine you're fairly bored because of having needed to rest and not move around much the last few days. I bet this may be, fair entertainment when you don't feel good. I'll tell you that. Oh, nice. Well, it's nice to have you with us. And I could get a little better scenery for you guys. My cat was getting a little bit crazy, so I didn't move the TV tray stand thing farther back because he was running for a while. So we got a little bit of the cellar here, but it helps. It's like plateau. There's even a little bit on a pipe. It makes a difference. Are you saying it's 65 degrees where you're at, Phil? Or are you saying hi to Zippo? I don't even know what the temperature is here. It's not too bad. It was warm today, but the house stayed pretty cool. And with just the fan, we haven't had to use the air conditioner yet because 2 days ago it was snowing. Ooh, I haven't had Boswell's Paradise. Oh, that's your number. Okay, yeah, we'll start it now. All right, so pick a number between 1 and 100, and whoever is closest will win something. Simple as that. Oh, no problem, Phil. Hey, Ganji, great to see you, brother. How are you doing? And I'll give it another minute. Oh, I missed your message there. DDT smoking mystery dog turd twist. Daughters and Ryan 3 sales shag mixed in as kindling. Very nice. There's a bunch pretty damn close. You guys are good guessers. $66 and windy. You know, it hasn't been actually very windy today or the last couple. Well, yesterday evening we grilled steaks and chicken and it was wonderful. Happened to be the day we got groceries and they had wonderful, or day after we got groceries, I think. Did we get groceries yesterday? Day before. Day before.
But I did get some.
And then she picked up some today. She went, while I was with my dad, she went with her mom and took her grocery shopping. All right. Here we go. So the number was 44. And Zippo and DDT are closest to 44 with both having putting in.
Are they tied?
Yeah, they both put in 42. We had 37. That was pretty close. 44. That's still pretty close. We had in the 50s. We had a 50. We had 70s, 73, 65. Very good. So DDT and Zippo, since you guys are both the closest to it, and it would be wrong to sandbag anybody, I'm going to send you each a yellow pouch with samples.
Like a yellow envelope?
Yeah, one of those little envelope thingies. So I'm going to send you guys some samples. Probably we'll get to mail them out close to the end of the week. Because I'm hoping to mail everything out on one day. I try to keep it all the same day that week if I can. Unless I finish a pipe. Sometimes it's twice in a week. Phil. DDT. Zippo and DDT gonna have to fight, or DDT has to change. I want to see the fight. Yeah, you said 43. Oh, did I miss one? I may have missed one. I will double check. Sometimes words don't register to me. Country gentleman. I should have said 23. Mon Claude, how you doing, brother? Like, who said 43? Did I say something? No, I actually didn't. Country gentleman goes, shit, I should have stuck to my gut. It said 43. Always stick with your gut. It hasn't let me down yet. So DDT and Zippo, I will put together usually about 4 nice samples or so fit in the envelopes, and they still close. Maybe 5 depending, but I'll put some samples together for you guys and see what I can get to you. Oh, I was reading a message, Searchlight. You probably heard when I said 66 and and windy. I don't know. Sometimes things get screwed up in my head too. So just correct me if I'm wrong. Because sometimes I say something and I don't even register what I said. And it's just something that happens. My cat's trying to play with my half asleep toes. Then he's like, this one? Martin at Over a Pipe, how are you doing? And Martin and Mod Claude, what are you guys smoking this evening? Okay. Okay. Searchlight, that's a good one, man. I was like, I could have missed it. Some days I can hold on to information well, and it's not every day. That's for sure. Well, we just did a random drawing. We had a number between 1 and 100, or 0 and 100. I mean, whichever. The number was 44, and DDT and Zippo guessed 42, so they were the two closest. Nice. RD's telling Martin it over a pipe. He's like, pick 44. Awesome. Very good. The more the merrier. Between 1 and 100 is barely random. That is 2. That is 2 true. See? Words don't make sense in my mind. Is barely random. It is. My number generator, I don't have one of those things on my phone, and I could probably look it up, but I just picked a number in my head and then mentioned in 30 minutes, which ended up being 40 or so, that we would do that. So that was it. But we'll do this again sometime. It won't be every live, but it will be, the lives that it happens on will be random. And maybe even what the winning is will be random. Ooh, Simply Red is a good one. I'm smoking early morning pipe, and it is going great for not being early morning. That statement was random, Phil. Yeah, life is random. I don't even know what happened with the day. It did pass slowly as the day was going on. Like, it was nice. But now I'm at this evening, and I'm like, what did I do today? And I know what I did. I can go back and piece it together from the time I got up. But it was a good day. Donkeys? I'll see if I can do that. Hold on. Let's see if I can find it. Disclaimer, I do not own what is about to be played or sounded out. I accept no responsibility for it. Okay. There's a donkey laughing. That was not what I thought it was going to be. Let me find one I do know. There you go. You are right, Phil. That one was a hyena. Well, two hyenas. I don't really know. Right, Phil. Oh, that's going to be on a different channel, Zippo. Yeah. One guy got on a donkey and moved his leg like he was starting a motorcycle, and then somebody put sound effects of a motorcycle, so when it took off, it looked hilarious. They sped up the video. Oh my gosh. That was funny. I recommend seeing that video that I am not responsible for, nor am I claiming ownership. God, you weren't outside with the rooster. So how's your best friend doing, Phil? And when are you going to throw some Captain Black grape in the yard so it can become a grape rooster? Just wondering. It's been a while. I haven't, you've had that pet now forever, it seems like. My father-in-law was not happy with some people motorcycling and tearing up the road by his place. He didn't handle it well, and he wasn't happy when he got in trouble. But not my wife's folks. Oh, yeah. Well, that's a different story, though. But her dad, yeah, he doesn't like when people come flying by his road. But that's more of a safety thing. Because there's a lot of trees by where he lives, and people come around the corner. And I think he worries more about my mother-in-law walking to the mailbox and having some jackwagon hit her with a bike, because that's the last thing she needs. But technically my brother's father-in-law was throwing rocks and stuff at people riding by his place. And I'm like, is he really? Yeah. This was a couple years ago, but yeah, he's throwing rocks at him, and he talked about putting nails in a board. And my brother's like, don't you do that. He's like, they get wrecked. It's your fault. Oh, I'll just say they were being careless. It's like, yeah, they were. They'll wreck on their own if they get carried away. Then it's their fault. You tamper with the road, you're getting in deep doo-doo. Hey, country gentlemen, I have some aged Captain Black grape from June of 2020, and I will send you some when I send you your There you go, Searchlight. No, it'll just get you fined here, Phil. It won't get you arrested. It'll get you fined. And they're pretty crazy with some of those fines. Not that I would blame them in that case, because I had a motorcycle. I drove it. And, that'd be pretty dang messed up if somebody put nails in a board on the road. But you get more in trouble because of the county and stuff. No problem, man. I may have you may have to remind me. But I'll write it. I'll try to remember to write it down tomorrow. But yeah. Or you could even shoot me an email and just put grape. That'll remind me because I'm checking those better too. But I'm hoping to finish yours this week. Maybe the bulldog. I'm trying to get trying to get 3 done this week. The bulldog, yours, and I cannot think of his name. It's driving me nuts. What's that volcano pipe I was made? What's the guy's name? Papa Bear. That's the guy. Papa Bear's Nook. I'm trying to get his and yours out this week and the bulldog done. That's my week goal. Starting tomorrow. Well, continuing tomorrow. I shouldn't say starting because I have gone quite a far away on all 3. This isn't even moist tobacco. I'm never good with these lighters. This is Peterson Aaron. Very tasty. When you want like a grassy Virginia. It says it's aromatic vanilla blend. But I mostly get grassy Virginia, so it's probably more in the room note than in the actual taste, which is okay because you can still taste the tobacco. Oh, I'm sorry it made you sick, man. The best time, I did do a review of it a long time ago. I didn't mind it. Early on, I really liked that I started out with aromatics, so I didn't mind most of them. When I first tried Maltese Falcon and some other blends, I did add a pinch of grape and some other stuff because there was a harshness that at the time I wasn't ready for that I really enjoy now. And a pinch of grape actually helped smooth it out with Cavendish and some other stuff. And the room note was actually really good because you got grape Cavendish mostly. But on its own, it's not amazing to me. Yeah, English grape. Heavy on the English. Very, very light on the grape. But it wasn't bad. Drink white milk to get the taste. Oh, nice. Nice tip, man. I never thought of that. And to help me remember, see, I'm already forgetting. DDT and Zippo, if you want to send me an email with some blends or like a blend type you'd like to try, or like 4 types you'd like to try, like Burley Cavendish, be it any. I'm just using that as an example. Feel free to email me and I'll put some together for you. If there's a type you haven't had or you're looking for a different version of something. I've also made a match for Tilbury. So sounds good, Zippo. Will do, buddy. This is good. Last time, or one of the most memorable, I picture Porky Pig going, "Ebbity, ebbity, it's easy for you to say," which was actually what is it? What is that guy name? I can't think of names tonight. I'm trying. That comedian, Ray Stevens. That was funny. That was funny stuff. That's easy for you to say. Then he plays the song on piano. Pull the ribbon from your hair. Shake it loose and let it fall. And then he takes it a little bit rougher. He goes, "Let's turn it up a notch." And it shows someone ripping the ribbon, like the hair, the wig off him dressing as a blonde. He goes, "Ah!" That was funny. But wherever this conversation was going, I'll surprise you, man. But I have had really good energy today. I've been goofy as heck. Drove Dark Lord nuts. He was laughing though, so it was good. Had a nice chat with him earlier, and man, that was a good time. Oh my gosh. That grape will turn your grapes into prunes. Is that what you're saying, Dan? He said Dan's living dangerously. That grape will shrivel your testes. Yeah, Carter Hall and Latakia is good, and Carter Hall and Black Cavendish is good. Edited my grape request. DDT, I'll throw a grape sample in there for you, buddy. Ooh, Rustica. I need to get more Rustica and some RLP6 and there were a couple of others. There's about 4 components I need to get. So not too bad. Doing okay so far. Just RLP6 is number 1. And some Lane BCA, because I do like Lane BCA. Grape will shrivel. That's terrible. And then you put a Y when you spelled that, and I don't know why that seems hilarious to me, but it does. The chest twinge is just extra hair growing. That's right, Zippo. I can see. Man, could you imagine that at Rustica in an old style, like 50s or 60s cigarette commercial? Rustica, sending man into puberty for a few years now. Those are fun commercials. They're totally dumb, but I mean, people relied more on common sense. So it was way easier for even younger people to spot BS. Speaking of BS, we had this guy going through, and what they did was a year ago when we had crops and stuff actually sprouting in the field, they took pictures with the drone and they make them into these framed pictures and they come over to your door and they say, "This is what we got." And they try to relate to you as a good door-to-door salesman would do. And this guy said, How you doing? And I just grabbed a hat because the sunlight. Didn't matter what. I had been on a baseball team when I was a kid. You know, they rename them off everything. So I was on the Rockies and the Angels and the Cardinals. So I had a Cardinals hat. And I just threw it on. Didn't mean much to me at that moment. It wasn't my favorite hat. So the guy was asking me, fan of the Cardinals, huh? And I'm like, yeah. I didn't even realize what hat I had on anyway. So he goes, man, I remember when my parents and family and we just gather around and watch every Cardinals game. Which that's a smart tactic, because if you say every Cardinals game, then he doesn't have to answer when he said, a few games. If I were a Cardinals like diehard sports fan, wouldn't have to worry about me going, oh, which ones did you see? So he was clever. And he said, isn't that a great look at that? I said, yeah. He didn't know exactly what land was ours, so we got like part of a picture of a field, mostly the gravel driveway, and a little bit of a shed. There really wasn't much. And he goes, I'm selling these right now. They're going for $2.99, but I'll sell it to you for $2.50. And he's saying, I bet there's a lot of memories in this land, a lot of joy and a lot of tears, maybe even a little blood. I mean, really laying it on thick, And I'm sitting there like, well, I really mostly shed the blood, sweat on my grandparents' farm working there, because we did a lot of fence work and that tears you up. We mostly farmed there. This stuff didn't take long and then we'd be out of town. So it cracked me up, because it's like, you aren't going to sell to me. And he's like, well, I said, I'll have to talk with my dad and see if he'd like one. He goes, oh, is your dad around, or do you live here? I said, I live here. He goes, oh, so you're kind of the man of the house, huh? So he switched tactics. Well, you're the man of the house, so, you could buy this picture kind of thing. I'm like, I can tell you where to put that picture, sir, free of charge. So my dad asked me later on, I told him about it, and I said, I told the guy I'd give you a card. So here's his card. And he said, yeah, the neighbor didn't buy it, one from him either. Smoking Fireman, how you doing, Cody? It's been a while. How you been, man? Tonight's winners of the random drawing were DDT and Zippo. And the drawing is for 4, maybe 5 samples, whatever will fit in the envelope, of my homemade blends. And if they wanted, they could pick, or Zippo said surprise him. So it was a good deal, and we'll be doing that every once in a while during probably a Saturday live. And you never know what it'll be. It might be blends. Could be lots of things. That's all I'm leaving it at, because I don't give anything away entirely, other than some stuff. And I gotta find where I put that knife. I think I took it with me to the shop. Monclaude, tomorrow I'm going to smoke some more of the Bosma plug. And yeah, while I'm out there, I'll cut up a bunch and put it in a jar. So it's all cut up. So when I want to smoke it, I don't have to go, oh, where's my knife? I got to put it back, because then I just distance myself. Hey, Cody. I did not, buddy. I'm glad you reminded me, because I know we were going to give it another week or so, and I guess that was a few weeks back, but time has flown, man. But I did not, buddy. I love that Bosma, and I save it for just every once in a while. Usually you're on special occasions. If I had my knife here, I'd cut some now, but I'm sure I put it in my pocket and took it with me to the shop. That's okay. Because when I'm out there, I get into kind of work mode, and I'm like, okay, I'll get out there, I'll take care of it, jar it up, it'll be good to go. Okay, sounds good, man. Yeah, don't ask Hillbilly Piper about packages. Let's see, man. I think it's close. Oh yeah, very close, man. Actually, maybe over a year now. What's today? Oh, very close. So, or no, it is over a year. I'm thinking it's March. You made this one on March 29th of 2021. So it's now over a year old. I made it a year, which was hard to do because I was smoking this like crazy to start with, and I'm like, nah, I need to lay back a bit. Yeah, so basically April, and now it's after May. So I will jar these up. I didn't mean to leave it in this, but it's all right because I'll dice some up. They're still very good. You did a crazy good job at making those. But I'll dice them up and put them in jars, and then if I want to moisten them or whatever, then I'll do it for whatever amount I'm going to smoke. I love it. My next favorite, the Universal Vapor, is good. That's February even. Let's see. Malted Burley was very good. The Stash Blend Virginia Plug surprised me because it was just so pleasant. The Bosma's one that just stands out. It just does. I think my favorite is the Stash Blend, very close with the Universal Vapor, but Bosma, man, when you really want that, it hits the spot. But those will all get jarred tomorrow since they're a year old anyway. I should have jarred them sooner, but I just never had a time where I sat down that long with a knife. And I'm sure Mabu's grateful. Yeah, Todd, Little Fat Morgan sent me some Rustica, and it did not last long. It was delicious. So thank you again for that, Todd. Yeah, one time I sent a package to Todd. So Cody, I sent a package to Todd, and the package got to where he lives, like not the address, but it got to the post office. It took them about 8 days to get it there. They held it for 10, mailed it back saying that there was no resident at that place, which wasn't true. They weren't moving or anything at that time. And so I had to send it again. And Hillbilly went through something really dumb. So he put one digit off on the zip code. Easy mistake, but it's still technically within this zip code. It's still this area. Even with that one digit changed, it's still in this area. And one of the mail deliverers took the lazy way out and just marked it as wrong. It's going back. And I told him that I'd help cover the shipping since it'll be because he's got to pay for it to come back and he's got to pay to send it back. And he said, "Don't worry about it, it's my mistake," but it just burns me up, and I know it burns him up. Yeah, that is one of my favorite straight Virginias. I think I'll say as far as a plug, that's my favorite Virginia, or straight Virginia. And then not in a plug, my all Virginia blend is my favorite. But that has a different taste than the Bosma. So it depends on the mood really, but the Bosma, man, I'm good for it anytime. It's delicious. And let me know, Monclod, if you get any more that are ready to be tried. Maybe we can work something out. Well, and you're exactly right, Phil. And we had a guy that delivered mail his entire life. That was his career. He started when he was going with his dad as a kid. I mean, he did this for years and years. And he just always liked it. He always loved hiking, so it was no big deal to him. And he stayed very healthy through it, even though it can be very hard on your back and knees. He actually got through the career without having major issues. Yeah, you would know as well as anybody. And thank you, Todd. And he's very mild mannered, and even the other days, he said it's a shame because he would have done that. I mean, it had the rest of the information. It was obviously to this area. It had our names on it. It was just stupid. It should never have even happened. And I don't know, it was probably just a lazy employee, but boy, I'd sure be ticked to find out if it was just another way they could easily make money intentionally. But I think it was just someone didn't want to do it. You're right. You're right, Phil. I noticed that. My dad and I were talking about that too. Yeah, it's crazy. And my wife and I agree, if you don't like that job or you don't like boxes or packages, find a different job. There's places hiring not far from here. I've worked lots of jobs, and there are some jobs I left because they were terrible jobs. Usually it was the management was terrible and refused to even consider fixing it, then I just kind of lined up another job sometimes. And at that time, there weren't just jobs anywhere. You had to go look. You might try 5 places before finding one. So, Captain Kirk 32, welcome in, brother. How you doing tonight? What are you smoking and what are you? Oh, very true, Phil. I actually watched a deal on probably half a year ago. I had to memorize everything to even pass tests. They had to memorize all sorts of stuff. So it was pretty surprising. And I'm smoking some Peterson Aaron after having smoked early morning pipe. Nice, Capstan Gold. I've heard nothing but good about that. I've had not tried that one yet, but I've heard about it. Are you comfortable? It is nice in here. Cool air feels good.
It was hot today.
Low Country Edisto and Jack Ryan number 30. Nice. He's making a lot of pipes too. He's kicking rear. He makes some nice pipes. And I enjoy his lives. I'm getting there. I don't know how many have gone out or are in the process on their way out is 15. But I have some that are special projects, and some I've made myself. So I probably made around 22, 24, something like that. Yeah, sounds about right. Probably around 22. But yeah, he's kicking it. Thank you, Phil. Oh, Phil. Mabu said, whenever it's convenient, that she thought it right that you decide on the shape. I meant to tell you that 2 weeks ago, but I just remembered. And she will appreciate the pictures of the dinner. Because she's a foodie. She's a food. I don't know what this is called. Not really a foodie, but she appreciates food. Good food. As do we all. I mean, you know. Phil, have a wonderful night, man. Take good care. And be well. Well, we got to give. Yeah, I'm going to subscribe to you, Captain Kirk. I know I've seen you before, but I'm glad you popped on to remind me. I got you, Phil. And yeah, time is fine, man. I totally understand. I totally understand. Yeah, I should have some evenings I can get caught up on content again. And that is important that the steak rests. We had prime rib. I keep saying ribeye, but we had prime rib and chicken. Not ribeye and chicken, prime rib and chicken. It turned out really good. I ate too much twice. So, Phil, are you having a pipe while you wait for dinner? Or will you have one after dinner? Or are you done for the day? And Captain Kirk, I don't know if you know, so I just want to let you know as well. Anybody on here who may not know, I've been working on pipes and stuff. So if you have any questions about any or whatever, feel free to send me an email or let me know. My email is in my About section on YouTube. And it is Bulldog and Church Warden season here through June. And I'm hoping to have the first Bulldog done this week. I think it's a little of all three, Hunter, but I did appreciate that challenge, because if you don't have a challenge, how do you challenge yourself? How do you learn more? You learn a lot more quickly when it's a struggle learning it, I feel. At least for me. I do not have an Etsy store. I've been doing this about 2 months. And yes, all of the above, DD. I will have a church warden that is a bulldog, a bull warden, or church dog. Either one is fine. That will be this month. I'm going to take a screenshot, Bill. So I remember. So currently I do have pictures. So if you have questions, like I said, email me and I can send you pictures of the ones I've finished, the ones I'm working on, the ones, yeah. So I can show you some of the stuff I've done and see what you think. Right now, Country Gentleman has one that's being worked on. All the drilling's done, the stem done. It's a huge poker pipe, 4 1/4 inches deep, and that's a chamber with very thick walls. I think at least 1/4 of an inch all the way around. And the stem work, I'm going to give myself a pat on the back, because the stem work and the drilling are fantastic. And the stem work worked out so that even though it's a massive pipe, you could comfortably clench it. I'm so proud of it. I thought of 3 ways, depending on the shape of the pipe. 3 very comfortable bits that I just haven't really noticed. That's just part of the learning, but it's been good. Okay, Phil, I'll look into it, buddy. Nice, DDT. I understand, Kirk. I understand. Yeah, feel free. They're very reasonable. I'll work with everybody. It's not usually a big deal at all. So, yeah, sounds good, man. And I'll be in the shop tomorrow, and I'll check emails throughout the day as well. So if I'm there, I can always take a picture or something and show you. But it's going good. Got the stem. The stems were a challenge for me for a little while, but they quickly, after a few practice ones, have gone in a really nice direction. Really, getting rid of the paranoia that I'm going to sand away too much. That's really been the biggest hurdle for me. It was the biggest hurdle for the block of wood, and the biggest hurdle for stems was it's okay to get rid of quite a bit, working towards the site you have in mind at the end. But it went really well. RD has one. Hillbilly Piper has one I'm working on before his return. Andrew Southern Piper has one. Zippo has one. So they're making the way around. Hey, honey, Phil said next one I make is gonna be so big you'll need old school braces head retainer to clench it. Mabu said next one you just make or make for me. I'll accept the challenge, Phil. If you make me a huge pipe, we'll work it out, and I'll clench it. We'll have to make a deal. We'll have to make a trade or something because I need to get you some custom blends anyway. And Mabu's not a clencher. Not only does she not prefer to, but it's hard on her teeth. Which is hard on a lot of people's teeth to clench pipes. I just happen to have abnormal teeth. That's true, Phil. And it doesn't help me because I love massive pipes. And they're hard for me to find. And at least for reasonable price anyway. And then the guy's asking for, RD wanted a pipe with 1/2-inch walls. So I did it. He wanted a huge pipe. I said, man, I got the right pipe for it. But as I'm making like the Bulldog and stuff, that'll be a pretty good size. It'll be what most people would call large. But it would be what I call a medium or small. Phil says, Mabu, I'm joking, but I can. Pretty sure I can find a retainer used at Goodwill. Yeah, ooh is right. I'll make you keep the retainer. But you find a good block for it, Phil. Just let me know. Well, I'd be up for a trade. I need to send you a nice big box with a bunch of custom blends in it anyway. So, but I got time, man. So whenever, it can be at the back of the list. No big deal. And I do need to order some more blending tobaccos anyway, so it gives me good time to do that. But I would seriously trade you because I need you to try a bunch of blends. And Phil, if I remember right, you said Perique does not agree with you. Is that correct? Well, and Phil gave me some tips in the live or in the Google Meet, I believe it was. Everybody there, he was just kind of giving little bits of advice, and the advice on the different types of sanding things to use and like tape for sandpaper, stuff like that helped a lot, and that made a big difference. And I did end up getting some files ordered, so thank you for the tips because it does help. And since I'm not able to use the lathe, it helps a ton. Oh, I understand, man. I understand. Yeah, it's not, you know how I am. I'm not going to be one that's going to go, hey, where's that pipe, and rush you. And I know you wouldn't be one if someone was trying to rush you to be like, okay, I'll get right on it right now. unless there was something else that took place, you know. And by that time, if it's been a little while, then I'll have the opportunity to make more blends and new ones and have more of an option of things to send you. But I got a lot of good ones. I think well, sweet and spicy I don't think would be for you then, because it does have Perique. That would be one, if Perique didn't bother you, I think you'd really like. But I've got a lot of others, like Saffron is really good, and Mordor's really good, and Irish coffee, stuff that doesn't have Perique that I think you'd really enjoy. Well put, Phil. And that's what's been going around in my mind the last few weeks, last few days was, yeah, because that's the nervous, you know. When I get down like on the Bulldog shank, it's going great, and I am a couple 16ths above, so I'm leaving just enough where I do the finer sanding to take it down. So it's not, like you said, there really is no room for error. There really isn't. Thank you, Zippo. I'm very glad you like them. Those are two of my favorites. Those are two blends I worked hard on. Some blends just come easily and it's not a big deal. But I've had that Irish coffee. I had a Frankenstein bowl, and I tried it, and I don't know what components I grabbed, but it was like a mocha. It was this delicious cup of coffee in your pipe. And I've tried over a year, probably a year and a half, remake it, and I've come up with like 4 good coffee blends. The Irish coffee is my favorite of all of them. But yeah, and the pistachio one, that one I was very proud of. That one, I kind of tucked it aside and forgot about it. I made it once, and it was good that I forgot about it. And then Dan Lopez reminded me, because it was he who generated the idea. And he did a video on it even. And he said, he said he couldn't find anybody, even master blenders, that could make a pistachio blend. And man, that just fueled my fire. I was like, I got to do this. I have to make this work. And the second try, and then confirmed that we did it live, and that was it. Yeah, it's sort of in its own world, because that was pretty spot on. I will give myself credit there. I used to short myself and say, "Oh, this isn't any good. I got to do better." And the other day, I almost drilled with the wrong bit, and it was just that moment of remembering which bit to use that saved me. So yeah, sometimes things happen and you're like, "What? This is incredible," and then other times it's like, okay, I got to do better. Or just like the pipe stuff, it's just you keep working on it. Yeah, I have his email. I'll send it to you, buddy. I'll send it right now so I don't forget. If that's all right with you, Phil. I totally will. Let's see. I got you, Phil. Yeah, and you're exactly right, man. It's a matter of when you're ready. I have a guy asked me about a wooden stemmed church warden. And I said, I'm just not at that point right now. And I'll be honest, that's why I always tell you guys, if you have any questions on pipes, send me an email, ask away, ask prices, ask what comes with it, ask everything. And if I believe I can do it, and I'll trust my gut, and I'll tell you, I believe I can do that. And if I know I'm not ready, I'll be honest with you and tell you, yeah, I'm not quite at that level yet. I told the person I could make a great church warden with an acrylic stem, but I'm not at the point where I would do the wood stem. I'm not there yet. Just a matter of I haven't learned to. So I'll always be honest with you guys, never say, yeah, I can do that, and send you something you don't want. We'll always be very clear on that you get what you're looking for. But I appreciate that a lot, Phil. I really do, because I learn a lot slower than I did, but a lot of times when it's the right time and I'm ready, then I'm not ready to wait for anything else. I'm ready for the challenge and I go for it, and that it seems to work, so I'm just going with that. Yeah, and I kind of think that's what that day was, because usually I'm very aware of making sure that, okay, this pipe or whatever, this bit is gonna, I usually put it in the drill and leave it in that drill and only use that drill for that. And I don't change the bit in that drill unless I'm really having a great day and I know I'm gonna know what I'm doing, and I'll put the old one back in so I'm ready for the draft hole and stuff like that. Usually that one drill has the draft hole bit in it, and that's it. Very rare. Otherwise, I'll grab a different drill bit. Most of the time, I'll do the drill press, and I'll do Forstner bits and then rounded bits at the end for the last quarter of an inch to get that rounded bottom in a bowl chamber. And otherwise, yeah, like all the sanding and stuff, I do use an oscillating sander. Otherwise, it's all hand sanded. But man, when I have a good day, I get on fire. The fastest I've made a pipe was one day. And that was just one day that everything worked together, I know you're not, Phil. You deserve to, though. Well, I'm throwing stuff. Here we go. I'll get that email to you real quick. There you go, Hunter. And I appreciate that, Phil. And just having known you for as long as I have, and having gotten to have all sorts of conversations with you, whether you're talking to me or giving advice to everybody in the chat, or whatever you're doing or talking about, or when you do different things like, oh, I've never seen that, I automatically start recording, and it helps. I know that when you're critical, I know where it comes from, and I also know that it comes from caring about the pipe, the result, as well as the carver's development and growth. And I appreciate that more than you can know, because there are people who will be critical just to be able to be critical. But I do definitely appreciate you and all the tips you've given. And just to make it clear, I just want to word it the right way. Really, the direction I've picked up mostly from Phil are things like tips, because he knows I'm not good with a lathe or anything like that. I'm not. It's something I can kind of use a little bit for making a tenon. My dad helps with the rest of the stem on the lathe, getting it down to a rod. Um, but it's because of the epilepsy, and Phil knows that. So he's given me tips on tools to use, different things, different sanding wheels or numbers or types, or the reasons why going to a certain grit before staining, stuff like those kind of tips that really make it more of an accessible hobby for me, because I'm limited on how I can do what I can do. And so those are the tips he's really given a lot. Otherwise, anything else I've picked up watching him and other pipe carvers, but that's been the help. He's always, more than anything, he's just been somebody always there to give you a leg up or go, hey man, this seems to work better for me. This might work better for you. And that's good help. That helps a lot. And he's not despite what he may say sometimes, he's not a jerk. The only wooden stem I've seen that I really, really liked, other than Papa Bear's Nook was telling me about a church warden he saw for Lord of the Rings. But he there was one I saw by, what's that? The German pipe, Vaughn or Vauen. Well, it'd be Valen, but Vaughn. There was one I really loved, and it still had an acrylic inner stem with an acrylic mouthpiece and bit, and the rest was beechwood outside of that. And I really liked that because, yeah, that was part of the reason with the wooden stem that I had in mind was what wood does when, I used to be in band. It's the same thing as people moistening a reed before putting in a saxophone or a clarinet. And the bending and that, I just didn't want to deal with that stuff at this time. I'm not there. Yeah, and that's ultimately what it would do. I'd still be stubborn and try to keep going with it, but if I hit a wall and there's something like that's going to cause issues, then I got to go, dang it. Let's see if there's something else I can do. So luckily, I've been able to at least come up with something that's drilled right, smokes right, has been awesome, and definitely with the larger pipes, I've loved them. The two that I have for myself, especially the freehand, I really enjoy. So if it's working for the people that commission them, it's working for me. Then for now, that's working while I learn. And if I can at least make it the way I've been and just try to improve on it, and the tips such as the ones Phil gives on different things to use for it, that helps a lot. So I can at least do that. If I can at least do that, I will stick with the hobby. If it comes to a point where I can't do any of that, then I would change. But so far, it can be done, then I'll keep going. Yeah, and you're critical for a reason, because you have a passion for what you do. You have a passion for pipes. You want high quality, and I'm the same way. I want high quality, so I will sand. Somebody wants it, a natural pipe that's going to be sanded ridiculously smooth, or at least comfortable and how they want. Commissions are different because you go off what the people are looking for anyway. But yeah, and I ask the same. I tell anybody who has ended up with a pipe that I've worked on, if there's something wrong with it or there's something you don't like with how it smokes, just tell me. No worries, no hard feelings. I don't have any time for that stuff, and I know none of you guys do either. Same with the blends. If I send you samples of a blend and there's, say you get 5 blends and there's one you don't like or 2 you don't like, just tell me I don't like it because of this. Because I've had people that don't like a couple of my blends and some people that love those more than the other ones they've tried. So it's all individual preference. But when it comes to the pipes, more people know what a good smoking pipe is like. So what I start with is if it's going to be a good smoker, and then I go with, look and just keep trying to fine tune everything. That's all it is a long journey of just continuing to try to fine tune everything. Yeah, and anybody with a sense of understanding on people, get that right away, Phil. I did have a person try to give me flack one day, and it was email, and my dad and I were laughing because he was saying, just negative stuff, like for the purpose of just being negative. And my dad was laughing. He's like, "But your pipes work." He said, "They seem to smoke well because the people you sent them to like them. You've tried them yourself, and there's been no problems." He said, "Those are your critics, the people who've tried them, or people like you, Phil, who know what you're talking about anyway, and you're not an a-hole when you're trying to give advice." But the other person was just throwing in all this stuff in email. And my dad said, "You know what you tell that person? You tell that person, you know what does work? The 2 doors in my shop. So use either one and get the heck out." Yeah, attaboys are appreciated, but I take them the same way as advice. All advice is good. Even if someone gives you bad advice, receiving it isn't the problem. It's what you do with it, whether it's good or bad advice. It's what you do with it. You apply your filter, what works for you, and you take the good out of it and use it. So the attaboys I take the same way. I take it all with a grain of salt because an attaboy is like, could be someone, "Well, that looks okay, keep going." But I keep in mind, what direction is this coming from, that kind of thing. And if someone's just being friendly, I'm fine with that too. I like friendly people. It doesn't bother me at all. That's why I like you guys. But yeah, if Zippo said, "Hey man, there's something not right with this pipe," then I'm not going to say, "Well, fine, you hurt my feelings, blah, blah, blah." I'll say, "Oh, okay, what's bothering you?" Then I can say either send it back and I'll fix it, or is there something different I need to do, or I could give you a tip on what to do. So I definitely am fine with critiques. And some people get tongue bite out of any blend of tobacco, and there are some ways I can change a blend to make it bite less. So I've done that. I keep that in the back of my mind that some people don't have much tolerance for tongue bite. If it's a person I know that can't handle any nicotine, then I make them blends that have virtually no nicotine that's still as good as a different version of the same blend that has more nicotine. Yeah, no. We just work it out. It's not a big deal. And I can't claim to be a grumpy old man because
Say you're a grumpy old man.
See, that is why. I just said I can't say I'm a grumpy old man, and then you go, "Did you just say you're a grumpy old man?" See, that's why I can't say that.
Say you're old or grumpy.
I'm only grumpy for 2 reasons depending on the day, which isn't very often. One reason is because sometimes when I'm going into seizures, that's a sign that I'll start getting more agitated.
Don't bring that up.
Well, that's one reason.
Well, I know.
And another reason is everybody gets carried away and has the right to have a day that they're just crabby. But would you quit rolling your eyes? That's like the 10th time. My goodness. Yeah, I got you, Phil. Yeah, and I don't mind either way, Zippo. My tolerance for nicotine has increased dramatically from when even half a year in or a year into pipe smoking. And I had a month where I had this wicked cold and everything gave me tongue bite. Every dang blend. Well, I don't think I smoked my blends at that time because I think that was before. I don't even remember. But everything I smoked, everything I tried gave me tongue bite. Even Carter Hall and just blends that don't typically give tongue bite. And some people are like that. No matter what they do, they get tongue bite or something. But nicotine, I'm good either way. It can have it or have medium or have none. I don't care. If the blend's good, I'll smoke any blend. I'll smoke any blend. I enjoy all tobaccos. I have a deep appreciation for each one, so I am fine with trying them all. Geez, see, DDT said we can hear her rolling her eyes. Yeah. She's see. And Country Gentleman says, hi, Mabu.
Hi.
Enjoy your steak. He goes, it's rested enough, it's passed out. Perfect. Thank you for staying in with us while you waited. I appreciate your time and chat. It's nice to have you here with us. And enjoy, man. Have a wonderful night and take care. And I'll let you know when I'm ready for more of a challenge. Right now, I'm giving myself enough challenges, so I'll wait a little bit, but I will let you know. I'm the same way there, Country Gentleman. Because I haven't tried dip. One time I had a little bit. I was like, I'm gonna put a little tiny piece of twist tobacco in my mouth because that's what cowboys used to do, people used to do, and I noticed the nicotine quickly. So I went back to just smoking, and yeah, even high levels, man, they're not bad. For a while, even up to a few months ago, I can tell still if they're light. Well, although light to me is medium and heavy is really like double X or something. That's heavy. But I can still smoke it. Like it seems like I can still tell the nicotine level so I can give people a reference point. But I can still smoke it all, so I'm okay with that. And the pipes is just continued practice. Papa Bear's Nook, welcome. How you doing? Good to have you. Have a great night, Todd. Be well, brother. Good to see you, buddy. God bless you back. Oh, nice. That is a good movie. We were talking about church wardens and mentioned you a few times, but it was all good. I'm glad you're here. I'm hoping to have your pipe and Hunter's pipe. My goal is yours and Hunter's done by the end of this week. And because I know the staining's going to take 2 or 3 days. And then I still have to do the stem and some sanding. So I don't know if it'll be done at the end of this week. But that's my goal, like through next weekend, be able to maybe mail it out Monday or Tuesday of the next week.
That's large and real.
Yeah.
That sounds like donuts. Sounds like when you walk in a bakery.
It's kind of sweet. She thinks that Davidoff Blue mixture mixed with whatever was in the air from what I was smoking was smells like donuts when you walk into the bakery, which it could because this has a nice little sweetness to it.
It smells like a donut and a blueberry muffin.
I could see the two mixed together. That's nice. I'm gonna think of a donut and a blueberry muffin. That sounds good.
Oh, and this is little mini bagel bites.
Back to food. Here we go again. Not you, just the chat. That's how it always ends up. Food. A dwarf church warden. Do you mean a dwarf church warden like a something like that? Or one that's a dwarf like style? Is there a dwarf style? I'll have to look. I know there's a lot of different Lord of the Rings styled ones. Oh, I'm glad you do. I'm glad you do, Paul. That is so far my favorite of the Lord of the Rings one. Yeah, Rivendell's the bomb diggity. Oh, heck yeah. Oh, man. And I'll let you know. Like short and bearded. Could be. Oh, nice, Kurt. Yeah, it's delicious. But my goal is your pipe and Hunter's pipe and my first bulldog done through the week. And your guys's will take priority greatly. The bulldog maybe could be done this week. The stem I do need to fix up a little bit. It's not bad or anything or malformed. It just has, when they pour it in and have it done, it has that little bit of a seam I just got to sand off, but there's not much work on that. And the rest is just shaping the rest of the pipe around it. So I'm working hard on the shank to get that just perfect. It's very close. I just need to get more of it towards the bowl, and the transition's going really well. I just need to bring more of the bowl down, just kind of zone in the size of the bowl and the rest of that shape, really get it solidified. So it just takes a lot of work here, then work here, then work here, then work here, over and over. But so far it's going really good. So that'll take about 3 really good days. Hunters, I have the work I have to do on Hunters is pretty easy, as is yours. Hunters, the stem and the drilling, same with yours, other than, like I said, just the little edges of the seam stuff are like not really a seam, just the casts or moldings or whatever just need to be sanded a little. And yours they both need a little more sanding. Yours needs more than Hunter's does. Hunter's needs more rustication than yours does, because your rustication it's good, it's solid, it's all done. So the stain and the sanding are what's really left on yours and the stem, but the stem will be easy enough. And the mouthpiece, that stuff, I could probably do the stem in a day or two. So hunters will probably be done first because I already know what I'm going to do with rustication, and I could have he's on the last step of the sanding, and then I have to stain it. So they'll probably end up being, in realistic view, unless I have some really great days in a row, probably a week after this one, they'll both be done. Just estimating. But I never know. Tomorrow could be a day where I just kick out a whole bunch of work done, no problem. Or it might be a day like today where a little bit of light work was all I could do. So, nice, Dark Lord. I haven't had shepherd pie, but bag end is pretty good. And I tried Treebeard the other night, and that was nice. Rivendell I still like more, but Treebeard was pretty good. Treebeard for me would be like a few days out of the week, like an every couple day kind of smoke, every 3 day kind of smoke. But it's still pretty delightful. But Rivendell, just, that is fantastic. That is all day, every day. And DDT, feel free to email me, buddy, about that pipe shape. If you have a drawing or something of an idea, even if it's a rough drawing, I don't care. Because that'd be kind of fun to see if I could do that. And then the thing that'll take a good amount of time really is the staining. Oh, and nice. And second breakfast is pretty good too. It's really just the staining. That's going to be the one that takes 3, maybe 4 days for Paul's and for Zippo's, because then they'll be stained. I'll put carnauba wax on them, and I'll put ABU on them. So those will take the longest. But once those start getting stained, then I can have those resting and work on other stuff. So the Letsolve should be able to start on some kind of project while those are staining, and then I go stain them in the morning and leave them set till the next day, then do other staining, and then if I need to do more than one coat to get the right color, or it just is what it is. But my goal, just to keep on track, is the end of this week and the end of this coming weekend. More realistically, it's a good possibility the next week. Just to give you a timeline, but we'll see as we go. If I'm sanding more and it's like, okay, I could do this more to it, or the staining takes a little longer than I expect, but that gives you guys about a window of expectation. And there's some days I just can't do much, and I apologize for those. There's just nothing I can help about it. If I go out there when I'm already shaky, if I were to go start working on something and turn something on and a sound makes me jerk and throw a pipe or drop a pipe against a sander or something, it could wreck the work. So if not a day I'm sure, then I don't do much work to them because I don't want to mess them up. Oh, nice, Paul. Oh, and dang it, I think I missed your live. I knew I was forgetting something yesterday, man. And I bet it was that. I'm sorry. I will be at the next one for sure. Okay. Sounds good, buddy. I appreciate it. I'm planning on being in the shop some tomorrow anyway. So I can always group up some, like I'll send a picture. I'll put up my current things I'm working on, and I'll send some to my finished stuff, and we can go from there. And I'll work, like I said, I'll work with you. I'm not in it to hose people. I'm gonna put that up front. For me, it's just a hobby. I'm the spokesperson. It's really for my mom. So I'm a guy that just has a hobby I'm able to do for her and speak. I don't know, self-advertise, whatever you want to call it. I appreciate that, Paul. Thank you. And thank you, country gentleman. I appreciate that too, buddy. And that's one of those things in life that's like almost a blessing and a curse. Every day is different, which is great. But you never know. I could go to bed and sleep great, wake up early, feel great, and have a surprisingly great morning. Or might not, but that's a good thing, because then if I had a rough day, then the next day there's a chance it'll be a little better. Oh man, Zippo. Zippo just opened the washing machine, and he had left his Stanwell pipe pouch deal in his pocket, and he's got tobacco everywhere. My heart just sank for you, Zippo, because I've had a few times I've spilled some. A lot of times, if I have a moment where I jerk and I drop my pipe, ever. But the last couple times I spilled wasn't as much, but one was a fairly good amount, and I just didn't have it in me to sit there and pick out any carpet fuzz or anything out of them. And it wasn't a lot that ended up. I got some printer paper, got all the top onto it, and then I did have to vacuum some, but I hate that more than anything. I hate spilled tobacco. So I am going to take a little shot of Captain Morgan sliced apple, just for any difficulties taking place in everybody's life. No matter how big or small, whether it's a health issue or spilled tobacco, it still counts. There's the good luck. Hey, Jeff, how you doing, brother? Wet tobacco's wet leather, and yeah. Oh, it is a leather one. I was hoping it wasn't. I Dark Lord, you dork. Sounds good, buddy. Well, I'll be on for a little bit more. I'm going to share more of this pipe with you guys, and then Mabu and I are going to watch something. So what are you going to smoke, Jeff? Nebraska. I'm in the Midwest of the Midwest. Oh, nice. I had early morning pipe, which I feel is like sort of relative to anything with like evening or morning or whatever. So autumn evening, early morning pipe, they're close. It's 10:50 p.m. here on Saturday night. So fairly early. Some nights I'm in bed by midnight. I've tried doing it. Epilepsy doesn't care when you go to bed, so it can be. I've had nights I go to bed at 9:30, and I have nights I go to bed at 1 or 2, which is pretty rare. I usually it's around midnight or 1, but it seems like no matter if I try to get more hours, it's either I'm gonna sleep more that night or less and get good rest, or just not enough. But you know, I used to be able to get up really early. Growing up farming, sometimes it was usually no later than 6. If you slept till 6:30 or 7, that was sleeping in. And now I don't have as many days I'm up before 8:30. But if I'm still waking up, that's a good day anyway. What time is it for you, Captain Kirk? Oh, so you're Eastern time. I got you. I appreciate you joining us tonight, man. And Jeff is Eastern. Oh, there you go, Paul. Okay, so when I was working at different places, usually it was pretty early. At one point, I was working at a grocery store, and then I was also delivering bread. And it was where like the bread was already there in stock, and then I had to just show up and stock it. So I wasn't really I just had to drive place to place, store to store, and stock it up. And since one place I had to stock was the place I was already working, I usually ended with there. But the best starts were at midnight. So I'd go start going store to store till about 5:30 or so in the morning, clock in at 5:50 at my main job, work there, then go do a second stocking of bread everywhere. And that was usually whenever I got off work until, let's see, I usually got off work around 3. So then I would stock and be bread, and that would usually go until around 7, and then I'd start again at midnight. So it was crazy, but it was a little bit convenient because it was just, even though I was tired, I could just show up, knew what to do, knew the stores because they're all where I grew up anyway. And you had a system and it wasn't too bad. Yeah. I can't say anything bad about the stores on here, the places I stocked, because I'll probably get in some kind of stupid trouble over nothing. Oh, that's not too bad. That's interesting, Hunter, because you're an hour, or you're about 40 minutes away. And sounds good, Zippo. I'm sorry you're mourning the loss of a Scudo, especially. So I would take vengeance and smoke a nice pipe with a good blend in it as well. I remember when I was using a tablet trying to do lives, how blurry and weird it was, and it wouldn't show up even on phones very well. So I was just noticing the smoke, and I was like, that actually looks good. The smoke is turning out right. This is not, I have my fan blowing, so this is not a very good environment in which to do smoke rings. Kind of. Yeah, hopefully it was just really ripe, new Escudo that just tasted terrible. And that it was a match version and was no good. I hope that was the case. I hope it was Captain Black Grape Escudo. I learned a new joke today from myself that I didn't know I knew or could think up. And this is a little bit of a lowbrow joke because I normally don't do these jokes. But it was pretty good. So I was talking with the neighbor about, we both love history, and we're talking about Aztecs, and we're talking about Egyptians and stuff like that. And I don't know. I don't normally joke about this much, so you'll have to forgive me for the joke, or the caliber of the joke. But I thought it was still pretty good. So what do two ancient Egyptians, or what do you call two ancient Egyptians, or was it what they have? What do two ancient Egyptians have when they share a fart in the same room? They have a toot in common. See, I thought that was pretty good. King Tut, that's pretty good. Old Toby, that is a good blend. Oh, yeah, nice, Papa Bear. That was where I first did a live, was on Instagram to try it out. Whenever I get, thank you for laughing, because that was not a terrible joke. I thought I had some mild amount of class. I cannot wait for 1,000 subs so I can do YouTube lives on my phone. This is actually on just a cheap laptop. So I'm going to get a cheap laptop and try it there. If it's not any better, I'll take it back or whatever. And that's all it's for is lives. But it works, and it was on a deal on top of that, so it worked out pretty good. And I'm using Restream, which seems better than just going through YouTube Studio. I have it also go to YouTube, so you guys can watch it there, but I'm on Restream, and that's really handy. Oh, definitely. Good advice, Zippo. So Mordor is an all Briar'd up blend, and Witch King is a Zippo blend. And the Witch King blend sounds fantastic, and the Mordor blend is pretty dang good too. But I like the way the Witch King one sounded. Oh, that's awesome, Captain Kirk. Congratulations on reaching out, buddy. Thanks for letting us know, man. I'm now subbed to you, so I will keep that in mind. Another live on Saturday would be awesome. That would be following Chris's, because Chris does a live. In case you didn't know, Kirk. Weathertop sounds. That's a good name for a blend. He does his live at 8 p.m. Eastern, and then I usually do mine like now. I go for 10 p.m. Eastern. It usually ends up being 10:30 or 11 p.m. Eastern when I start. Just because it seems like every time I plan on 10 p.m. Eastern, something comes up, or I don't even know, or we get neighbors come over, need to borrow something, or they ask if we're doing okay. They check up on us pretty often, and you never know. Or we might get last minute invited to babysit, so just for a minute, where they go get a cow that got out or something like that. So, but yeah, that's a good time to do that. That's right in the middle. You'll have plenty. You'll have at least an hour, so that's a good time. Well, you can always try it out, and if something's not right for it, just let us know, and we'll still support you. I had a name for a Witch King one. I did make Aragorn, Two Towers, White Wizard, but I need to order some tobacco to make more blends with. And some of that's tins, and I like tins, but a lot of times they're priced pretty high. And then of course one of them for Aragorn, that blend is, yeah, that blend that has like 6 or 7 components, and half of them are not usually cheap. Sounds good, man. Well, guys, I'm going to wrap this up because I'm ready to go sit down and put my feet up. This is all Briar'd Up's ready. So, cheers to you all. Have a beautiful, and thank you very much for your time and being here. It's been a pleasure to share a smoke with you. I'll check my emails. I'll check them in the morning when everything's kind of fresh. Get up, going, check the emails, then realize what I'm going to do. So I don't check them now and then forget in the morning or something. But I will check everything out on my phone tomorrow. Yeah, I hope so. McBaron does a good job in my book. So yeah, they need Rustica. I would love to see what Frog Morton or McClellan's Rustica would have been like. I would love to see that. I have no idea, but I bet it'd be hard to beat. They'd both be very good anyway. But thank you guys. God bless you. I'll keep in touch with y'all, especially with your guys who have pipes coming. I'll let you guys know how it's going. When there's a notable point or progress done, I'll be in touch with you. I'll send you pictures, stuff like that. So until I see you guys next time, which should be Tuesday, have a great night. For those of you who don't know, I do Tumultuous Tuesday Google Meet at 8 p.m. Eastern on Tuesdays. If you'd like to join and you haven't been in there, just send me an email in my About section, and I'll get the link emailed to you, usually around 6 p.m. Eastern Tuesdays I send them out. Otherwise, I'll be live Tuesday night about the same time as here, 10 p.m. Eastern, somewhere around there. So God bless you guys. Take care. Country Gentleman says good night to you, Mabu.
Hi.
She says good night too. You'll be in at 9 again. Sounds great, brother. I look forward to it. But you guys, God bless you all. Be safe. And just have a really nice week. Have the best week you've ever had. Don't let anybody get in the way of it. That's our goal, our group goal for the live. We're going to have a great week. And we don't give a